Have you ever wondered how a player goes from being overlooked to becoming a key asset for a powerhouse like the Toronto Maple Leafs? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving into the incredible journey of a player whose contract could redefine value in the NHL. With his impressive goal-scoring record and ability to step up when the team needs it most, this story is one every Leafs fan should hear. If you want to keep up with the latest and greatest from the Leafs, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Bobby McMann's recent contract with the Toronto Maple Leafs could very well be one of the best deals in the NHL, and it's time we dive into why that is. When evaluating a player's worth, especially in a league as competitive as the NHL, we often find ourselves questioning the metrics we use. Do we base it solely on stats? Or do we consider the overall impact a player has on the team? For McMann, I believe it's a combination of both that makes this contract so intriguing. The Maple Leafs signed McMann to a 2-year deal with an average annual value of $1.35 million. And let's be real here. He's already outperformed that agreement. He's not just filling a role, he's redefining expectations. With 17 goals and 8 assists this season, he's been producing at an impressive rate of 0.54 points per game over 46 games. If he keeps up this pace, he could finish the season with 27 goals. That's significant production, especially when you consider he'd rank 5th in team scoring, right behind some heavy hitters like Auston Matthews and William Nylander. What's truly remarkable is how McMann's performance stacks up against some higher-paid players around the league. For instance, he's outscored players like Timo Meier and Carter Verhaeghe, who both signed for much heftier contracts. And let's not forget that only 3 of his 17 goals came on the power play, which speaks volumes about his ability to generate offense at even strength. It's not just about luck, it's about skill, and McMann has shown that he can deliver. On the surface, you might look at his shooting percentage of 14.5 and think it's unsustainable. But let's dig a bit deeper. He's launching the puck 2.5 times a game and has an impressive knack for creating rebound opportunities. His goal-scoring ability isn't a fluke. He's consistently in the right place at the right time, making him a crucial asset for the Leafs. But it's not solely about the numbers. McMann has been the glue guy for the team, stepping up when injuries have plagued the roster. Coach Craig Berube has trusted him to slot in anywhere in the lineup, and he's delivered every time. This flexibility is invaluable for a team navigating the ups and downs of an NHL season. Let's not forget McMann's journey. He went from being an undrafted player to signing a 2-year contract with the Toronto Marlies in 2020, and now he's a vital part of the Maple Leafs roster. This transformation speaks to his determination and skill, making it all the more impressive. He's not just a player. He's a testament to hard work and perseverance. As we look ahead, if McMann continues to perform at this level, his contract could go down as one of the biggest steals in the league. Imagine if he keeps scoring and drives the team forward in the playoffs. Fans will be buzzing about this deal for years to come. And with the looming contract extension for Mitch Marner, the Maple Leafs need to take a page from this playbook. Finding value like McMann's will be crucial in building a championship-caliber team. The recent discussions about Max Domi's performance and contract situation with the Toronto Maple Leafs have sparked quite a bit of debate among fans. Peter Baracchini brought up some critical points regarding Domi's inconsistent play, particularly highlighting his lack of offensive production this season. With only 3 goals in 44 games and those long stretches without scoring, it's hard not to feel frustrated. Should the Leafs trade him? That's a question that seems to linger in the air as the trade deadline approaches. But let's take a step back and consider the bigger picture. The NHL's salary cap is projected to rise significantly in the coming years, going from $88 million to an estimated $113.5 million by the 2027-28 season. This increase changes the landscape entirely for contracts like Domi's. Right now, his $3.75 million cap hit represents about 4.26% of the current salary cap. Fast forward a few years, and that percentage will drop to around 3.3% of the projected cap. What does this mean for Domi? Simply put, it makes his contract more manageable and potentially more valuable, even if his on-ice production doesn't improve. Imagine a scenario where Domi continues to struggle but the cap rises. Other teams will start looking for depth players who can provide value without taking up a large chunk of their cap space. Domi could fit that mold perfectly. Even if he doesn't find his scoring touch again, that contract could become a bargain in a higher cap environment. The Leafs might not need to rush into a trade just to alleviate cap pressure. They could afford to keep him and evaluate his situation with more flexibility. Now, let's address the elephant in the room: Domi's decision-making. It's been a point of contention, and rightly so. For a player who was once touted for his playmaking abilities, his poor shot selection and inaccurate passing have been a letdown. Sure, he's been a disappointment this season, but is that enough to justify moving him? Or should the Leafs give him a chance to rediscover his game? As fans, we often think about what's best for the team long-term. Can Domi rebound? If he can regain even a fraction of his previous scoring ability, that $3.75 million could become an absolute steal. But if he doesn't, the question remains: is he still worth keeping around? I mean, it's one thing to have a player underperforming, but it's another to have him taking up space in the lineup that could be filled by someone who could contribute more. The urgency to trade him isn't as pressing as it might seem. The Leafs have younger players, like Matthew Knies and Bobby McMann, pushing for spots and making their marks. Domi's struggles could open the door for these emerging talents, and that might be a silver lining to his current form. However, if the Leafs decide to move him, they need to be strategic. Domi's past performance could make him appealing to playoff-bound teams looking for depth, especially if they see potential in his contract. So, what do I think? Honestly, I'm torn. Trading Domi could bring in a player who can contribute more, consistently, but the growing cap space in the next few years makes it tempting to hold on to him. There's a chance his value could increase just by virtue of the cap rising, and if he can find a way to contribute even a bit more than he has this season, it could be worth keeping him around for that potential. And you, what do you think? I want to hear your opinions down below. Should the Leafs stick with Domi in hopes of a resurgence, or is it time to cut ties and seek out a more reliable option? Don't forget to activate the notification bell to get all the latest updates. If you enjoyed this discussion, like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more insights on our beloved Toronto Maple Leafs. Let's keep this conversation going, because together, we can dream big for this team.